It's Wednesday, August 13th. This is CTV at 6. Here's what's making news tonight. Officials reveal human activity caused the wildfire still burning in Halifax. Video records a group of people attacking a St. John man with spray.
It's showers and thunderstorms in the Maritimes tonight and Thursday as a front comes through.
Live from our Maritimes News Center, this is CTV News at 6. Here is Todd Battis.
Good evening. We begin tonight with the latest on the wildfires burning across our region. First to the Bears Lake fire in Halifax. It continues to burn out of control at this hour, and officials have revealed it was caused by human activity. The result, they say, of an open fire. CTV's Calvin Smith reports.
Conditions this morning were a step in the right direction in the fight, but the thick fog prevented DNR helicopters from attacking the Susie Lake fire from the air. Much of Bears Lake was quiet, with many businesses shuttered, some under mandatory evacuation. Premier Tim Houston says usually crews have about 25 minutes to keep a woods fire from spreading, but now,
under current conditions, it's more like 5 minutes or less. Some of these things can just run away immediately. So obviously we're in a really, really tricky situation here in the province. And the main reason that we haven't had a catastrophe yet is our firefighters.
The province shared some photos and video of the battle against the Susie's Lake fire behind Bears Lake, an inside look at what crews are up against. In the afternoon, the sky cleared up, showing what things looked like. At the same time, the province said the fire was human-caused.
The cause of the fire was related to human activity. It was an open fire. There was nobody in the area when the crews arrived on scene. That makes it impossible to hold the person or people responsible to account, and yet that's frustrating to everyone.
But officials steered clear of more details and declined sharing if there was an encampment in the area. The Premier saying the investigation will take time, but the conditions don't show any signs of improvement.
It's going to be a long stretch here. There's no real rain in the forecast, certainly not in the orders of magnitude that we would need in this province. And so far, we've been dodging bullets. Think about it. 17 fires just, in the last 24 hours. The province is a tinderbox.
The tensions were eased compared to what people saw when the fire broke out on Tuesday.
It's definitely hitting home. It's a little close to home for me, and I definitely don't want to see it go any further and anybody's homes get destroyed or anything worse.
Officials say there are no homes or businesses at risk. The fire has shrunk in size. Afternoon estimates suggesting it's around 15 hectares, about half the size as it was last night. But crews aren't ready to say it's held or under control just yet. Now, yesterday there was concern from DNR that the wind could make this fire go further, but there's no evidence to suggest it went beyond Susie's Lake. Crews are working very hard to contain the perimeters of it right now, and while it's not growing, firefighters want to get more confidence before declaring it as held. There's been 12 fines handed out in the last week or so, according to the province, both woods ban and burn ban. The Premier says he hopes those $25,000 fines will be fully prosecuted and collected. Of note, there's also 2 fires in Kings County in the Lake Paul area. One is now under control. The other is out of control, similar to this one here in Bears Lake. Todd.
Okay, Callum, at Bears Lake for us this evening. Thank you. Now, as a result of those fires, the province is asking farmers to do their part by not working during the peak of the heat during the day. Farmers are now being asked to park their equipment between the hours of 11 a.m. and 4 in the afternoon. Many fields, as we've reported, are bone dry at the moment. Mufflers and moving parts have known to spark fires. Officials say forestry and mining permits now require work in those industries to be done between 8 at night, overnight, until 10 o'clock in the morning. To New Brunswick now, where officials in Fredericton gave an update on wildfires still burning in the province. Here's CTV's Nick Moore.
There are a total of 16 wildfires burning in New Brunswick tonight. Of that number, 13 are being patrolled, 1 has been deemed under control, and 2 are considered out of control. The fires that have been burning for days in Irishtown and on Oldfield Road near Miramichi. Officials are hoping they may have turned a corner on the Irishtown fire, which has burned 45 hectares.
We have a perimeter of water and retardant around the Irishtown fire. We're close there. We're very optimistic.
But the fire near Miramichi continues to grow and is now over 1,300 hectares. Natural Resources Minister John Herron has called that fire beyond control.
The best we can do at the moment is be able to steer the trajectory of that fire. And I guess an illustration of the fact that we've been successful at doing that. We've been able to save all structures.
Premier Susan Holt says the majority of people are following the provincial fire ban, but not everybody. EMO and law enforcement are still following up on backyard fires and people hanging out in wooded areas.
It's making their neighbors nervous, and it's making calls get logged into the centre. And so we just want to keep asking people to please consider that that's something that they could put off for the next week or two.
Holt says the province is working with the forestry and blueberry sectors to try and devise a plan on how mechanical work may be able to resume out in the field, even with the high fire risk.
We are really trying to find a balanced approach that protects people and workers, that protects our assets and our economy, that protects our environment and our lives.
Those who've been told to prepare for a possible evacuation are also being told to keep their cell phone close by.
If there is an evacuation issued, you will get an alert-ready message. 15
comfort centers are also open across the province tonight, so people can cool down and charge their electronics. Nick Moore, CTV News, Fredericton.
And this is a welcome sight in the Miramichi area. Some rain fell in the past few minutes. CTV's Sarah Plowman sent this footage. She tells us she also saw some lightning as well. So let's bring in CTV meteorologist Kaylin Mitchell. Good news on one hand, bad on the other. How do you read that?
Yeah, these thunderstorms are certainly a mixed blessing. I mean, you'll take all the rain you can get in the vicinity of the wildfires and really across the Maritimes at this point in time. But of course, we also know that lightning can be an ignition source for new wildfires. So we're going to take a look at these thunderstorms. We're going to see a lot of lightning associated with them. Keep in mind, though, that not all of this lightning reaches the ground. There is both cloud-to-cloud lightning. It's a lightning strike from one cloud to another, and cloud-to-ground lightning. It's the cloud-to-ground lightning, obviously, that's the bigger concern. Now, it does appear, as I followed these thunderstorms, and they developed this afternoon ongoing into this evening, that some of the downpours were in the vicinity of the Oldfield fire to the north of Miramichi. So hopefully some of those downpours made it directly over top some of the hotter areas of the fire and helped out a little bit. There are still some thunderstorms in the vicinity of Miramichi now, as well as down towards Rishabukto. Some of these thunderstorms have become severe, not only producing frequent lightning, downpours, but the potential from the Environment Canada warning saying up to Toonie-size hail and some locally strong wind gusts. And as we check in on the lightning activity right now, you can see just over the last 5 minutes or so, still 51 lightning strikes detected in that area. There's still some severe thunderstorm watches and warnings posted. That means that if any of this weather is in your vicinity, you should be heading inside and waiting it out. You want to wait at least 30 minutes after the last rumble of thunder before heading back outside, and that's because lightning can strike out from these thunderstorms really in any direction. Now, the risk of thunderstorms is actually going to continue for northern areas of New Brunswick as we move through this evening and tonight, because we have this cold front that's approaching and is producing thunderstorms right now over the St. Lawrence River Valley, but moving closer towards northern areas of New Brunswick. Already a few preliminary thunderstorms getting into the northwest of the province. So it'll be the north of New Brunswick that's close to that front first. And so as we move through this evening and tonight, highest chance of showers, risk of thunderstorms. There were some pockets of showers and thunderstorms present in the interior of the southwest of Nova Scotia. No watches or warnings associated with those, and those are expected to be weakening or coming to an end as we make our way through this evening. Now, the other thing that front will do is break the heat in the region. We're looking at new high temperature records that were set yesterday. Miramichi, incredible 38.6 degrees, and many of the other records in the Maritimes, and there were records set for all three provinces, getting up towards the low to mid 30s. So temperatures will be coming down for the end of this week. We'll be talking more about that when I'm back with the forecast a little bit later on.
And as high as those temperatures are, we should remind folks again, that's without the humidity, right?
That's right. Those are just straight up air temp.
Yep, so they'll feel like even higher.
Yeah.
Okay, I know you're watching all that closely. We'll get back to you in about 16 minutes. Thank you, Kaylin. Halifax Mayor Andy Fillmore will be here just after 6:30 to give us the latest on the fire and the situation in his city. And a reminder, you can get the latest wildfire updates and forecasts at our website, ctvnewsatlantic.ca. While the Irishtown fire near Moncton remains out of control, there is hope it will be fully contained soon. Still, evacuation plans are in place for some. CTV's Derek Haggett explains.
The horses at the stable north of Moncton are staying put for now, but there is a plan in place to evacuate them safely if need be.
We're ready to go, but still, it's a little nerve-wracking.
The Irishtown wildfire remains out of control, and an evacuation advisory for people living nearby is still in effect. The past few days, a combination of anxiety and strategic planning by the owners of the stable and those who board there. The phone has been ringing off the hook with offers of help.
Trucks, trailers. We have a full roster of those ready to go at a moment's notice, thanks to the horse community here in Irishtown.
And there's a farm not too far away that is safe for all 27 horses. The mayor, not surprised with the outpouring of support.
We've had companies reach out offering trailers, offering to move people, offering to house livestock. I actually saw a lady offer, she has bees. She offered if anybody had to move a hive that they could bring their hive to her.
Mayor Warren says although the fire is still considered out of control, 60% has been contained. This woman has noticed less smoke over the past day or so and feels a bit better about the situation.
Oh, I do. My God, it was bad on Sunday, and now we can sleep at ease.
The forecast calls for thunderstorms and potential lightning strikes, a high risk for more fires, and another challenge for firefighters. Maple Hills Mayor Erica Warren says if there's one silver lining to this week's events, it's the fact that neighbors here have each other's backs and will help them any way they can during a trying time. Todd.
That's certainly the good news. Derek Haggett near Moncton tonight. Now, fire isn't the only problem crews are confronting. There's extreme heat, of course, but there are also drones buzzing overhead that have interfered in the fight against the Halifax wildfire. CTV's Vanessa Wright reports.
It's a sleek, tiny gadget known for its ability to capture picturesque aerial shots. But taking it out for a spin comes with a brisk warning.
Get your drones out of there. Just stay out of the way. Please do not get in the way of these hardworking men and women while they do their work.
Not only can it interrupt work being done by fire crews, it poses a safety risk.
So putting your small $700 consumer drone at 1,000 feet over an area because you want the high-level shot to put on your Instagram, what most people don't understand is it's going to take you a very long time to bring that drone all the way back down to ground. So thinking that your ability to react to an incoming water bomber and you'll get out of the way of an aircraft moving well in excess of 100 knots is impossible.
But it seems to be falling on deaf ears, according to Bergman, who says there is national evidence to show people are simply ignoring the rules.
It's incredibly selfish, it's incredibly inconsiderate, and it's disrespectful for the pilots and the firefighters that are out there trying to put this blaze out. Our province is a tinderbox, and these people think they're an exception to the rule.
Now, if you're caught using a drone within the restricted area, officials say you could be subject to thousands of dollars worth in fines or even jail time, but legal experts question if even that's enough.
Perhaps the penalties do need to be higher. You're talking about thousands of dollars for an individual and multiples of that when the offender is a corporation or a business. Maybe it needs to be higher in order to and have some people made examples of.
We can fly these.
In most cases, Bergman says people are just looking for the best shot. But the question is, at what cost?
So trying to grab your quick 30-second video or a couple of pictures with the drone so you can submit it to an Instagram news feed or your local news, or you want to throw it on Facebook for clicks and likes, is extremely irresponsible.
And whether intentional or not, could come with serious consequences. Vanessa Wright, CTV News, Halifax.
Get the Maritime's top stories, breaking news alerts, and watch live. Download the CTV News app.
To other news now, in St. John, police are investigating an assault in the city's uptown last night. The incident, caught on video, shows a group attacking a man. CTV's Avery McRae reports.
The video posted to social media couldn't be clearer. Just after 10:40 last night on Prince William Street uptown, Java Moose security cameras recorded this scuffle between adults and what appeared to be minors.
It's alleged that youths were involved in a fight and had used weapons. During the altercation, a window of a local business was damaged. Police arrived within 2 minutes of the call, and the suspects had already fled on foot.
The video appears to show a man holding an apparent minor by the neck before other minors come to his aid with an unidentified weapon and aerosol irritant. The minors then go out of the camera's main focus before returning moments later to go after the man again. Bystanders then jump in to aid the man, leading to the Java Moose front window being smashed before the minors fled the scene.
It's still a active investigation, so there haven't been any charges yet.
It's not clear what led to the altercation or who started it, but police say the incident is being investigated as an assault.
It was a little disheartening this morning when, to pull up and see the window smashed out and then to watch the video and see what actually happened.
Store owner Glenn McLean says Uptown St. John is one of the most incredible places in the Maritimes, but these days can be challenging for businesses.
There's so many things that all of us have created down there which are being sacrificed. I think sacrificed is the right word. We have to do something. We certainly recognize that there's a lot of desperation out there, but if we don't have a place, if we don't have an incredible uptown area, then that desperation will continue.
Police are asking anyone with information on the use seen in the video to contact them. Ava McRae, CTV News, St. John.
We'll take our first timeout tonight. It was good to see a break from the heat. Kaylin will have the details of how much longer it could last. But first, waiting for takeoff. Canadian travelers booked on Air Canada flights are watching as a labor dispute threatens to ground their plans. We're back in 2 minutes. Welcome back on this Wednesday night. Trade tensions between Canada and the U.S. continue to affect businesses along the U.S. border. Tonight, we get a view of the situation from the American side. As Laura Ullman reports, frustrated business owners in Vermont want answers from their politicians about the long-term trade plan.
The moorings that you see out here, at least, I would say, 80% of our moorings are Canadian customers.
Off the shores of Lake Champlain, there's a little international community at North Hero Marina.
We would not be able to exist as we are without them being here.
Since the Trump administration took office, the owner of the marina, Carrie Pettit, says 30% of her gas, 40% of her diesel, and 20% of her transient customers have dissipated.
And we had several Canadians reach out to us and say, we're afraid. We are afraid of our safety, we're afraid of our economics, and we're not sure that we want to come back.
Fearing for the future of her employees and customers who have come to feel like family, she drove to Snow Farm Vineyard and Winery to Senator Peter Welch's listening tour.
Whether Democrat or Republican, Canadian or American, neither will ever succeed without the success of the other.
She asked Senator Welch for help, and she was not alone. Cannabis cultivators and breweries in Grand Isle County shared similar stories. Nurses and teachers and activists cried out for guidance.
I want action steps in my retirement that I could be doing now to fight this.
While many in Vermont have been protesting, writing to their representatives and making donations, Welch says people looking to make a difference can start in their own backyard.
Doing what you can in your community to keep things together. Support a business that's under pressure. Stay involved in your local government. Volunteer at school. Because what ultimately is going to get us through this, in my view, is leadership at the local level.
That story from our partners in Vermont. Now, Maritimers booked with Air Canada nervously watching the labor impasse at the airline. Plans to lock out flight attendants as early as Saturday, now threatening travel and business in our region. CTV's Jonathan McGuinness has the details.
It's business as usual at the region's largest airport. But with the nation's largest carrier on the verge of an operations shutdown, passengers flying out today are relieved.
A bit lucky in a way, yeah. That I'm getting home before the strike.
Very lucky that we're getting out before midnight tonight. So I'm back to work tomorrow. It would have been, I don't know how we would have got home otherwise.
Shortly after CUPE issued their 72-hour strike notice early this morning, Air Canada announced plans to lock out its 10,000 flight attendants, meaning all planes could be grounded Saturday morning.
I'm expecting that the operation will pretty much come to a grinding halt on Saturday, and we'll maintain our position on the picket line at Halifax International Airport.
Halifax will be the only airport in the region with an active picket line.
From what I understand, we will be able to picket outside the departures area at Halifax International Airport.
Not all planes under the company banner will be affected. Air Canada and Rouge will be on the tarmac. Jazz and PAL flights will continue to operate. A spokesperson tells us Jazz will continue to operate Air Canada Express flights as planned in the event of any disruption at Air Canada. That's bittersweet news for some smaller maritime airports.
We have Jazz Aviation, Air Canada Express flights with Jazz that operate the Montreal flights, and Rouge flights are coming in for Toronto. So it will be the Toronto flights that would be impacted if there were a full-on strike.
That full-on strike will affect the economy, according to the Urban Chambers of Commerce of New Brunswick. They say the consequences of a prolonged disruption would be severe and far-reaching, affecting small businesses, health care access, academic institutions, and families across our province. Wages and unpaid work are sticking points. The company has asked CUPE to agree to binding arbitration. The union would prefer to come up with a new deal at the bargaining table. And Todd, as for when we could start seeing disruptions here at Halifax Stanfield, now barring any type of last-minute deal, the airline says they will start canceling flights as early as tomorrow before a complete shutdown of operations by the weekend. Todd.
All right, some nervous passengers, no doubt, John, at the airport just outside Halifax tonight. Thank you. Let's go to the CTV web poll, and we're asking this. Would an Air Canada strike disrupt your travel plans? Simple options here, yes or no. Vote at ctvnewsatlantic.ca. Still to come in the show tonight, more showers and thunderstorms in the region for tomorrow. Kalen has the details in his full maritime forecast after this break. Still very warm in downtown Charlottetown, 28 degrees as we bring in Kalen Mitchell with the full forecast. You're going to begin with some tropical weather.
Yeah, we got a lot of things to talk about in this forecast, so I do want to bring you this update first on Tropical Storm Erin. It's one I was talking about a couple of days ago. It's made its way towards the central part of the Atlantic and continues to pick up some strength as it's in some favorable areas to continue to do so, including warm ocean waters and relatively light winds. So in the forecast track from the National Hurricane Center for the storm system, it is expected to become a Category 1, 2, and then 3 hurricane as it makes its way towards the southwestern Atlantic basin. Now, obviously, in that forecast, there is no imminent risk to us here in the Maritimes or Atlantic Canada yet. At some point, though, and this will happen next week, that storm system will take a turn towards the north, which is when we're going to have to pay closer attention to it, especially if its path comes further towards the west or towards the coastline of North America, because then when it makes its northward turn, it increases its chances it could come closer to us. If it starts to make the turn further towards the east, we don't have to worry about it as much because it will first turn north and then off towards the east and would take it away from us. So keeping tabs on that one, but no imminent concerns for it here in the Maritimes or Atlantic Canada quite yet. What is of concern, though, this evening, thunderstorms. Now, we had a little pocket of some showers and some thunderstorms. It's now coming to an end that popped up in the southwest of Nova Scotia, but the stronger, more persistent thunderstorms been up around northern areas of New Brunswick, especially in the area from Rishabukto and extending up towards Miramichi, where you can still see they are plenty active at the moment. Lots of lightning with these. Not exactly great news because lightning can be an ignition source for new wildfires, but the rain being produced by them certainly welcome. Northern areas of New Brunswick will continue to have a risk of some shower or risk of thunderstorms along with showers as we make our way through this evening and tonight as more are on their way in out of Quebec. Taking a look at our forecast timeline then for cloud cover and precipitation tonight, the highest chance of showers and thunderstorms in the northern half of New Brunswick. Tomorrow, during the day, the highest chance of a shower or thunderstorm, the southern half of New Brunswick and Prince Edward Island. late in the day. So late Thursday afternoon and extending through Thursday evening and Thursday night is when Nova Scotia will have the highest chance of some showers and some thunderstorms. Now, in the showery conditions produced by this weather system, which will be the case for most of the Maritimes, only rainfall amounts of trace up to around a few to several millimeters are likely. If you happen to have a thunderstorm that moves directly over your area, though, you could pick up some localized rainfall totals that could be above 10 or even 20 millimeters. But that's going to be very hit and miss around the Maritimes. Winds in the forecast for tomorrow will remain out of the southwest for Nova Scotia, west for the southern half of New Brunswick and for Prince Edward Island, and northwest for the northern areas of New Brunswick, and they'll have some gusts between 20 and 40 kilometers per hour. Still a very warm and muggy night around the region, but the heat breaks with the passage of that front for northern areas of New Brunswick for tomorrow, with highs of 23 to 26 degrees. Some parts of the southern half of New Brunswick will still have some highs between 24 and 28. Still going to be very hot and humid for many areas of Prince Edward Island, high 20s, low 30s there. And for eastern areas of Nova Scotia, except along the Atlantic coastline, which will be 22 to 26. Northern and central areas of Nova Scotia with high temperatures tomorrow, mostly 24 to 28 degrees, low 31 at Truro. Still hot for the Annapolis Valley with highs near 28, highs of around 21 to 26 on the South Shore. In the 7-day outlook for New Brunswick, temperatures milder for Friday. On the weekend, does get hotter again Saturday into Sunday with a chance of showers on Sunday, and then milder temperatures through the first part of next week with mostly a mix of sun and cloud expected. We'd like to see more rain in that 7-day forecast, just not there right now. Clearing conditions for Nova Scotia on Friday, Saturday, a mix of sun and cloud. There'll be a chance of showers on Sunday. After that, a mix of sun and cloud Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week, highs around the low to mid-20s. And for Prince Edward Island, clearing on Friday, cooler temperatures, highs near 22, 24 on Saturday, chance of showers on Sunday, low 20s with a mix of sun and cloud for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
Okay, Kalen, we'll see you later on. Thank you. Next, Halifax Mayor Andy Fillmore joins us in studio. We'll talk about the fires. And films are in focus at the upcoming Atlantic Festival. Katie has the details.
I'm Katie Kelly in Halifax, where the 45th anniversary of the Atlantic International Film Festival is this year. The lineup has been revealed, and I'm going to give you all of the details about what you can expect coming up.
Okay, so tomorrow we continue to give you clues for the Virgin Radio Vault.
Join us for those at 6:10 and 8:10.
Also around 7:30, another shot at $100 to the Orange Store. Good luck.
Welcome back. We're happy to be joined tonight by Halifax Mayor Andy Fillmore. Welcome. Thank you for coming in. Appreciate it.
Good to be with you, Todd.
A lot on the go. Maybe we can start with a bit of a status update as you know it is what's happening right now.
Yeah, so the fire footprint has been declared that it's reduced from around 30 acres to about 15 acres. I beg your pardon, hectares. Those numbers are in hectares, 30 hectares to 15 hectares, which is good news. The weather helped with some of that. There are 20 to 25 Halifax Fire and Emergency firefighters on site with 6 pieces of equipment, 6 trucks. There are about 30 Nova Scotia Department of Natural Resources firefighters on site, and they were able to bring the 3 firefighting helicopters off the ground today when the fog lifted. So there was a lot of activity happening out there. I spent part of the day at the Emergency Operations Center participating in all of that. And I have to say, all the agencies and departments are working so well together. It's a very well-oiled machine, and I think it bodes well for bringing an end to this.
This was the thing everybody was frightened of.
It lives in our hearts now, doesn't it, after 2 years? It's, I think the trauma is still very, very real for people. I am so grateful to all of the HRM and provincial residents who are not going in the woods, who are helping to keep us all safe by following the provincial directives, and to all the firefighters that are on the front line there, making sure that this doesn't spread.
Let me ask you about that. They had the provincial update earlier in the day, and a DNR spokesperson indicated it was human cause, the result of an open fire. What do you know of that?
Look, I am focused right now. The HRM team is focused on fighting the fire. We'll figure out later what caused it. I don't have any evidence to the contrary of what you shared there. I do know that fire teams have been active all week across the province, including in HRM, putting out fires here and there, whether they were human-caused or on purpose or accidentally by machinery, whatever it is. People are still finding a way to start fires. I can't stress enough, we are having the driest August on record. It's drier than it was 2 years ago when we had the other wildfires. We are in desperate need of rain, and every precaution that each of us can take individually or collectively is absolutely the right time for it.
Are you aware of any construction in that area that might have sparked something? Does the city know of anybody who might be living in tents in that area?
I'm not going to speculate on that. Like I said, right now we're focused on getting the fire under control. We can figure out what happened after that, but right now with our finite energy and resources, it's focused on fighting the fire.
The DNR will be investigating this. This is normally the case. Should Halifax police be brought into this? Should there be a criminal investigation element to this?
Well, I suppose in the case of any event where there's criminality, that it's appropriate for the police, but I haven't seen any evidence of that yet. If that comes out in the future, then the answer would be yes.
We spoke to your colleague, the mayor of St. John, last night, and the city of St. John has a plan where it's going to move encampments that are in wooded areas and public areas within the city of St. John. Does Halifax have a plan like that? We know there are still plenty of people in tents who are in wooded areas.
There's no question the tents pose a risk. We've all been asked to not be in the woods and to not camp. We've all been asked to not have open fires to the extent that those things are still happening amongst the homeless community. I am in a preliminary discussion with the Provincial Minister of Housing, Scott Armstrong. It's too early for me to get into any details about that, but we want to make sure that everybody is safe and that they have a safe place to go to that's not going to get them or anybody else hurt.
Okay. Should they be out of the woods? Should tents be out of the woods?
I don't think any of us should be in the woods right now.
Okay. Should there be limitations on construction? We heard the province saying they would like farmers to limit their working hours, to not farm during the hottest, the peak hours of the day. Should something similar happen within industry and construction? Because there are those fears of sparks, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, the rules, as I understand them for construction, aren't terribly different than the rules for you and I. You know, as long as we're staying away from wooded area, grassy areas, using common sense. I understand that it's possible to undertake some of that kind of work if you've got fire containment systems in place, so that if something were to happen right away, you can put the fire out. What no one would want to see is anybody doing any potential activities, construction or otherwise, that could start a fire and not have a plan on site with the personnel that are already there to contain it.
You mentioned the drought and just how dry it is around your municipality, people running into dry wells in certain parts of the community, and I understand that there's a plan now to help those folks with drinking water in particular.
Yeah, that's right. So we're working on a number of sources. Halifax Water can provide water. We've had other corporate volunteers show up with offers of water that we're accepting. So this is a time, you know, we always talk about this when we have a hard time. This is a time when Haligonians and Nova Scotians join together to help each other out. And if I could share a really nice story, actually, there are two restaurants in Bears Lake, Montana's and the McDonald's, that have volunteered to feed the frontline firefighters that are out at the blaze out there on Susie Lake. So I just want to say thanks to them, and it's a really remarkable moment.
Yeah, and I heard that, in fact, there's a couple of private mom and pop shops that are doing the same type of thing too. There certainly is an initiative there. You know, we got that little bit of moisture today. There's Kaylin telling us there's more in the forecast for tomorrow evening. What is the sense among people within the city's EMO about you know, just where that stands, how much we will need before we feel confident that, you know, we may be able to get past it?
We're all hoping for a good soaking, and there is a little bit of precipitation forecast. Whatever way you pray, or we all pray, or express our hopes for that forecast to grow and for get more rain on the ground. Let's do all those things. But right now, I think the firefighters are doing an incredible job. The footprint of the fire is not growing. No structures are involved. No businesses or homes are at immediate risk. So we're in a good place right now. I don't want to jinx it, but we're going to...
Any indication when those evacuations might be lifted and the Bears Lake shopping area reopened?
When that fire is under control. Right now, it's still categorized as out of control. Okay. So that's for everybody's safety.
All right, Mayor Andy Fillmore, thank you very much for coming in this evening.
My pleasure, Todd.
We'll take a break. Much more on the other side. Stay with us. In our health and medical report tonight, a Canadian study that looks into the impact of nurse-to-patient ratios. CTV's Amanda Debison has that and more in tonight's edition of Lifeline.
A new study out of Ontario suggests mandated nurse-to-patient ratios could cut healthcare costs and save lives.
Researchers looked at jurisdictions such as Nova Scotia, British Columbia, California, and Australia, where mandated staffing standards are in place, and compared them to hospitals in Ontario. They say the evidence shows death rates go up by 7% for every additional patient assigned to a nurse. And hospitals in Pennsylvania noticed there were thousands of fewer infections after introducing mandatory nurse ratios, saving tens of millions of dollars annually. New Brunswick, PEI, and Newfoundland and Labrador currently do not have mandated ratios. Obstructive sleep apnea, or OSA for short, is a condition where breathing repeatedly stops and starts during sleep due to blocked airways. New research suggests that rising temperatures can make it worse. Climate change may be making episodes of obstructive sleep apnea more common and harder to treat. That's according to a new Nature Communication study. Hotter weather significantly increases the risk of this sleep issue by as much as 45%, and even more for males or people who are overweight. Experts say common signs of sleep apnea are loud snoring, daytime tiredness, falling asleep during conversations, or quiet activity. The majority of people with OSA don't know they have it and are untreated. With Health and Medical News, I'm Amanda Debison for the Lifeline.
Tonight on The Scene, we look at the impressive list of movies set to be screened at the upcoming Atlantic International Film Festival. And our guide is Katie Kelly.
It's my favorite day of the year. The lineup is here for this year's Atlantic International Film Festival. I'm so excited to welcome Lisa Holler. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having us today.
You and the crew at the Atlantic International Film Festival do such a good job putting this whole thing together. This year is extra special because it's the 45th anniversary. I know you have a lot planned, so tell me what people can expect.
Yeah, 45 years. We are celebrating. We're doing so much. We have an amazing lineup as usual, but to celebrate something special this year, we are looking back on our history. We are offering free screenings of classics from the Atlantic region. We have 3 days of free industry programming in cinema that anyone is welcome to attend, and so much more, from events to parties. All are welcome, and we are here to celebrate.
Awesome. Wow, 45 years. It is a big one. Of course, the lineup was revealed today. We are so excited about all of these films. The opening night gala is always a very special one. Can you reveal what that one is this year?
Yes, we are so thrilled to be welcoming back an alumni for this film, Brett and Hannum. Their film, At a Place of Ghosts, is incredible. It's about two brothers who are avenging a ghost, and it is an incredible piece. We are so thrilled to be showcasing Bretton's film again with us this year.
Excellent. Awesome. That sounds so good. I did see Wildhood, and it was an amazing film, so can't wait to see more from Brennan. The closing night gala now. Reveal this one, because this is really cool, too.
Yes, so this is Kiss of a Spider Woman by Bill Condon. So you may know him from Dreamgirls and other musicals, but this is a musical that stars Jennifer Lopez. It premiered at Sundance. It's a huge crowd pleaser, but it's an incredible piece where these two inmates in 1980s Argentina escape the realities of their life in prison with memories of a favorite film and their favorite actress, played by Jennifer Lopez, who is dazzling in the film. So it goes right to Technicolor with musical dances and singing, and it is incredible.
Oh, okay, that sounds so good. Yeah. So good. This year's Atlantic Gala is also something that so many people are so very excited about. So tell me about this one.
Yes, so it's called Little Lorraine, and it's the directorial debut by Andy Hines. We have been tracking this film for so long. It was filmed here in Cape Breton and parts of Nova Scotia, and he just knocks it out of the park. He was inspired by a song that his good friend Adam Baldwin has, and it's based on the true story of a small town where the lead is left without a job in the mining and fishing village and is forced to go into a dodgy criminal enterprise. It is fantastic. I think festival audiences are going to be delighted to see this film, and we're so excited to promote it at our festival. Andy's a huge talent to watch.
He is. He's so cool to have him from Nova Scotia, because just to watch his career over the years. So this is really special for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. What are some other highlights for this year?
There is so much to be excited about for this 45th year. We are offering over 100 screening opportunities and events throughout the festival. 50% of the program is directed by Canadians. Over 30% is directed by Atlantic Canadians. We're always so excited to present it to local audiences here, and we just want to welcome the community, see themselves on screen, find something special, discover a new talent, and come join us and celebrate 45 years of film.
If somebody watching wants to come join, I know that tickets are available now. What's the details?
Yeah, so tickets are all available. We have a range of options. You can get passes, you can get ticket packages, single tickets. We have a new membership program now this year. We have merchandise that you can buy to celebrate our 45 years of history. And we just welcome everyone to come down to Cineplex Park Lane in September.
All right, we kept Kaylin inside because we're watching those thunderstorm watches.
Yeah, I just wanted to bring one more update on them. So beginning in the east of the province, the two strongest thunderstorms at the moment are in the vicinity of Rogersville as well as the Rishabukto area. Lots of lightning with them, downpours, potential for some hail. Those two stronger thunderstorms should be diminishing within the hour. There's still a little bit of lightning being picked up in around Miramichi. And then off towards the northwest in New Brunswick, we have some thunderstorms that are developing with potential for more to move in as we go through this evening and tonight, because that front is on its approach over the St. Lawrence River Valley in Quebec. It is that front that is triggering some of these showers and thunderstorms. So they do come with some watches and warnings by Environment Canada. Basically a severe thunderstorm watch in effect now for the northwest New Brunswick. It means that conditions are right for severe thunderstorms to develop. And a warning like the one that's in effect for areas like, for example, around Kushabiquak National Park right now, means that a severe thunderstorm is imminent or occurring. If any thunderstorm is in your vicinity in the north of New Brunswick, as we make our way through this evening and tonight, you should be heading inside and waiting it out. Now, speaking of night, viewer picture for tonight features a fantastic scene. This is coming in from Cape Messer, taken at Clifton, Nova Scotia. The faint streak here, that's one of the Perseid meteors. So right away, that's really cool to see. But this brighter object, a little bit further towards the south, well, there was a rocket launch from Cape Canaveral yesterday, and that's part of the booster assembly from that rocket launch. So both a meteor and part of that booster assembly. Day planner for tomorrow: cloudier, fog, drizzle to start the day. Throughout the day, the risk of a shower thunderstorm is going to be highest southern half of New Brunswick and Prince Edward Island, and then Todd for Nova Scotia later Thursday evening and Thursday night.
Okay, thank you, Kaylin. We will see you tomorrow, and this kind of dovetails what you were talking about, the Perseid meteors. We're learning new details about a meteorite that crashed to Earth earlier this summer. The meteorite hit June 26. It shook parts of the southeastern United States, even came with a sonic boom. It crashed into a home in Georgia. Geologists at the University of Georgia have examined the rock's fragments and determined it to be 4.5 billion years old. Billion with a B. That is older than planet Earth itself. Now, researchers will continue to conduct tests on the meteorite. Other pieces that fell will go on display at a museum in the state of Georgia in the coming days. That is our look at the day here at home. Bruce Frisco will be here with our late newscast at 11:30 after CTV National. And CTVNewsAtlantic.ca and the app has our wildfire updates and Kaylin's forecast. I'm Todd Battis. Thanks for watching. We hope to see you right back here tomorrow night, 6 o'clock. Good night.
CTV News, the Maritime's #1 newscast.